People, welcome to Newspaper Breakdown. It is the 1st of February. I hope we are all in a direction. A few stories to get through today. Today sees the biggest day of industrial action in more than a decade, with teachers, uni staff, train drivers, civil servants, bus drivers, and security guards all going on strike. In the coming months, we can be expecting to see more strike action as well, with tens of thousands of people striking over pay and conditions. For schools, it's estimated 85% of schools have been closed today, or fully or partially closed today. And then if you have a look over at the border force, you have civil servants that are covering the border force staff strikes have been given just 2 days of training before they take up their posts. It's not, we didn't only know about the border force strikes 2 days ago. We knew about them ages ago, and this is what the government has done to cover. 2 days. They are being asked to check on crimes like carrying a false passport, drug smuggling, and modern slavery. 2 days. This is one of the reasons why strikes work, by the way. Because if you have to replace these people who are meant to know what they're doing, and all you've got to replace them with are a couple of IT people who are given 2 days notice and are meant to notice fucking modern slavery, you're fucked, ain't you? I mean, these are the times. If I was a criminal, I'd be looking for the strikes. When are we going to move? When they're striking. Then we're going to be able to go through and have someone who doesn't have a fucking clue what they're talking about. We can get through piddle of piss. Oh, what else we've got? We've also got uni leaders have been briefed that the government may side with the Home Office, which is never a good fucking sentence, is it? In supporting restrictions on international students applying to UK universities. The Home Office plan, which is a continuation of the plan started by Theresa May when she was the Home Secretary, of making the UK a lonely husk of a country with absolutely no class, culture, or kindness. It faces strong opposition from ministers and has been called an act of economic self-harm by vice chancellors. So it seems already like a Tory plan. The Department of Education, the Treasury, the Department for Business, the Department for Business, Energy and Industrial Strategy, and the Department for International Trade are all against it. They all oppose it. And when you have that many different groups going, nah, we shouldn't be doing this because it's good for the country, having international students is very good for the country. And then you have the Home Office saying, yeah, but they are all foreign. You have to look at what side you would be comfortable being on. This is all to reduce immigration. It's a continuation of the original Tory plan of getting lower net migration. That's what we want, lower net migration. We want fewer people in the country, and we don't want them to be foreign because it's just racism. That's all it is. It's small-minded nationalist racism. It's a continuation, because the thing is this isn't the centre ground policy. This is trying to make sure that the likes of Farage and his bigots and the far right of the Tory party, they are more willing to follow whatever else you want. So you do things about migration because that's all they fucking care about, because they're bigots. I know, it's very easy to call them bigots. Yeah, that's only because of their actions and what they say, though, innit? You know. With the reduction of the visa, the visa allows international students to work up to 2 years after graduation in the UK. This is a good thing. You want someone coming over here, they learn here, they end up liking the country, they stay in the country. Beautiful. What a fucking lovely story. A single cohort of international students made the UK a net £25.9 billion for the economy. Don't forget, cost of living crisis. Biggest tax burden in 70 years. Everyone and their nan is telling us that what we need is money. And the Home Office plan is to make sure we get less of it. There is a 97.5% compliance rate with the visa, with the vast majority of students that stay in the UK after 2 years doing so legally. That's a big fucking number for compliance. 97.5% of all international students that come into this country on this visa either fuck off home or they stay legally. That's good. There is the only reason that you would want to stop this is because you care more about the idea of being able to say to racists that you are lowering net migration than you care about the country. There is no other reason that I can consider for this particular idea. It brings in money. It brings in fucking soft power. It brings in pluses to this country that can't even be seen on such things. Culture, meeting new people, growing your fucking mind. Tiny things like that are actually important. But really, if you want to just boil it down to what governments care about, it brings us money. Makes it a good thing. According to the IFS, tougher benefit rules have boosted employment in the UK in the past 25 years. You know people are going to be happy with that. You all know those people. We've all got those people that say, I tell you what we have to do. Have to make it harder for them. Lazy. People are lazy. They do not want to work. Get rid of benefits. Get rid of benefits. We all know those people. There is a second part to that particular sentence. So according to the IFS, tougher benefit rules have boosted employment in the UK in the past 25 years. But only at the expense of trapping workers in dead-end jobs. So, sure you get to work, but you don't get to live. This is it. The whole point of existing or living. You know, do you survive or do you live? And why aren't you allowed to fucking live? The successive wave of changes to welfare since the late 90s have imposed stringent conditions on those claiming job seeker benefits, and increased the incentives to find a job. But research found many jobs are part-time, low paid, and had scant chance for career progression. I tell you now, the majority of people who say we need to get rid of benefits, they are lazy people. If you said to them, right, you get no benefits, but for the rest of your life you will be in a low-paid, soulless job with no career progression, they would be disgusted. There would be an uproar. This meant those encouraged to enter paid work tended to remain on low wages, paying low or nothing in tax, and still are entitled to working benefits. That costs us money. You want people who are earning decent amount of money, so they pay a lot of tax, so it goes into the economy. That's what you want. That's what you want. So you're getting all these people working, and you can claim unemployment is down to fucking nothing, or anything below 5% is considered zero unemployment. You can claim that, but the fact of the matter is, they're still on benefits. They're still in poverty, even if they're working. A low earner with children in 1997 to 98, on average, lost 50p in either reduced benefits or a higher tax needing to pay for every pound they earned when they moved to part-time work. Now that is 38p. So we are at a point where here the argument. Well, I mean, people make more money from being on benefits than they do from working, and very rare do you hear people go, maybe we need to put the wage up then, because this is someone working and losing money for a child. To move from part-time to full-time work in 1997 to 98, the transition implied losing 52p in taxes or withdrawn benefits for every pound. Today is 58p. It is now more expensive to move from part-time to full-time for these low earners than it is to stay at part-time. And either way, you're still in fucking poverty. The ONS figures show that 8 million plus, which is a quarter of our workforce, are on part-time work. The thing that you hear about, unemployment, we've got hardly any unemployment. Yeah, but they earn fucking no money. They're still on benefits anyway. And there's no career progression. They're not living. They're surviving. We have millions in this country who we do not allow to live. There's no chance of them getting out because there's nowhere to go. So we need to get them off of benefits. Give them an opportunity. Give them a life that they can fucking live then. That's what you have to fucking do. Give a world that's worth fucking living in. Anyway, Monday, the government announced an extra 1,000 pieces of legislation to be added to the thousands already needed to be reviewed or revoked by the end of the year. These are EU laws. By the end of the year, they're either going to be reviewed or revoked. This is making an already stupid plan basically suicidal. Everyone is against it. Everyone is against this idea of the government to do everything so quickly. It's the EU retention law, which by the end of the year, all of these laws on a vast array of fucking subjects are either going to be removed, revoked, or they're just going to be fucking just at the end. If by the end of the year, if they're not checked, they just get removed. This is going to fundamentally damage us. It's going to cost us millions, and it is going to potentially screw up our laws. And again, as with the visa plan, this is all for one reason: to say that Brexit worked. One of the things they said, this is to maximise Brexit benefits. There are none. There are none. The only benefit of Brexit at the moment is you can easily spot a fucking idiot. That's it. That is the only fucking plus. Got two stories left, both of them on more of a international feel. Over in Italy, their top court has ruled that children are under no obligation to see their grandparents if they don't want to. What a lovely, lovely sentence. This particular story doesn't affect me. All my grandparents are dead. This relates to an appeal by parents of 2 children against the lower court's decision to force their children to spend time with their paternal grandparents. Grandparents took the children to court because they were unable to meet the children due to the obstacles established by their parents, with whom they were embroiled in family issues, conflicts. It's a lovely story, isn't it? Because you know that the parents were there going, I tell you, your grandparents are fucking mental, absolutely off their tits. There was a little bit in the mind of the children going, surely they can't be that bad. And then the grandparents took them to court. That's a way to make sure that your fucking grandchildren want to see you, innit? I don't want to see you. How about if I sue you? Will you want to see me then? No. Finally, the Chinese population is shrinking, down by about 850,000 people in 2022. India is expected to surpass the Chinese population this year, and in a few years surpass its working age population. China's birth rate is still remarkably low, and China has failed to be an attractive destination for migrants, what with it being a fucking shit show of a country. That's not the people, that's the government and their lack of, how do you pronounce it, human rights. This is expected to. It is expected that the Chinese population will halve by the end of the century. That is a big fucking drop. I've said it in the past. If you want to deal with China, you just wait. They've got a massively aging population. As China has managed, there is of course problems to this, as China has managed to make itself the world's factory, basically, with 70% of solar panels, 60% of farm machinery, and 25% of robots being constructed with components from Chinese suppliers. The working age population drop will have a massive effect on the rest of the world. It's also an ill omen to the US and Europe, who both do not have massive population growths. In fact, a lot of Europe has population decline. One of the things that we do to try to stop it is migration. We used migration in the West to help fill the population growth that we lag. But Asian countries with falling populations don't tend to use migration, with China, Japan and India all having very low migration. Fewer children, of course, and fewer migrants mean fewer workers. You've also got the aging population effect on that. It's something that we have in this country. More old people, and the more old people that you get, it means, because especially like if you take into account our pension and how our pension works, our state pension works where we, the workers, are paying for the current pensioners. We're paying their pension. The idea that all my state pension I've paid for isn't strictly true, because you pay for the current pensioners. So as pensioners grow and there's more of them, you need to have workers, enough workers to be paying enough tax to be able to pay the pension that needs to be paid. If you have an aging population, you will get less, and so there'll end up being a massive a pension hole. There is already a hole in the pensions anyway. a way to get around that is, of course, rich people don't get a pension. It seems the way, but anyway, that is it for now. I hope you have found it interesting. I hope it has been fun. I will talk to you tomorrow.